Maple Collector here. It's been a while. I am going to do a video on some of my newer stuff. Some hard to find, some not so hard to find. Some things have been around for a while, some things are newer. So I'm going to probably split this up into two parts because I got a lot of new stuff. This right here is Acer Shirasonum hybrid. This is Bronze Age. Really cool looking. I bought this as a liner in a liner pot and planted it in a 1 gallon in the winter. It's probably 4 feet tall. Barely stays up in the 1 gallon. I kind of have to have it in a certain area so it doesn't fall over. I didn't want to put it in a larger pot though to start out with. I needed to fill out that 1 gallon before I put it into a larger pot. Really nice tree. It seems to be a rapid grower. It's already put on almost a foot, I think. Here is one I wanted for a while, but there's so many trees that I, it's one of those ones that I always look at, but then I just pass it up. I decided to finally get it. It's this is Jerre Swartz. Acer Palmatum'Dixie Jerre Swartz. It's a witch's broom. Really cool little tree. Kind of a dense habit, smaller. I think it grows fairly rapidly, but then kind of slows down as it gets larger. Here's a newer one. Kind of in its secondary colors right now. It comes out more orange, like orange and yellow. This is Acer oliverianum Hot Tamale. Nice tree. There we go. Supposed to be very heat tolerant for you people that have areas with very hot summers. So there you are, Acer oliverianum Hot Tamale. Here's a really cool introduction by Mendocino Maples. Last introduction was by Mr. Maple, the Hot Tamale. This is Kaleidoscope by Mendocino Maples. This thing has some crazy colors. Kaleidoscope is a good name for it. It was more like peachy looking when it first came out, and so it's changed quite a bit. It was like peachy color and yellow, but this is what it is now. Pretty neat looking. Kaleidoscope, Acer Palmatum Kaleidoscope. This one was a surprise one of the year that I really like. This is Acer Sarsonatum hybrid Kisetsu dore. It's more like a rosy pink color, orangey rosy pink when it first comes out, but I really like the leaf shapes, different, and nice color. Even now with this secondary color, more of a little more reddish over the green. Real pretty tree. I highly recommend it. I've seen it at a few different nurseries. Kisetsu dore, Acer Sarsonatum. Here's one that seems to be kind of popular, a lot of people want. This is Beni ukigumo, Acer Palmatum Beni ukigumo, or ukigumo. So Beni ukigumo is a sand-dusted variegate, kind of like the regular ukigumo, but more red in it instead of white. Really pretty neat. I mean, the whole thing came out variegated for me, and it really neat tree. I guess it changes to more green in the summer. We'll see though. My summers are a little on the cooler side, so maybe it'll hold its color better here. And then it supposedly has secondary flushes that are more like pink. At least, well, actually it does, because I got the tree last summer, so when I got it, it was green, but the new flushes that it had were kind of pink and white. But I like this spring color, pretty neat. Beni ukigumo. Here's another one, which is very similar. Not quite the same shade of red though. It's almost brown with some yellowish. I don't know if you consider that sand dusted variegation, but I guess you would. This is Red Jaguar. I got this from Maplestone Ornamentals. It is, I believe it's an introduction by Mr. Maple, but I don't think they discovered it, but I could be wrong about that. So, but I know it's one of their Area 51 trees. But yeah, so but they haven't made it available for a while. They made it available a few years back, and I should have got it, but I didn't. Luckily, Maplestone had a couple of them, and I was able to get one. So awesome. Red Jaguar. This tree, it's kind of rainbow colors right now, is First Flame. Acer Pseudosieboldianum First Flame. When it comes out, it's like a bright red color, but for me, that was very brief, and then it turns to more of a deep orange with a kind of yellow veining down the leaves. Really pretty amazing tree. It's been around for a couple years now, but usually you have to buy it from a nursery, walk-in nursery. Not a lot of online sellers have it, because I believe it's a patented tree by Isley. They like to pretty much produce the trees and sell them to nurseries. They don't really like other nurseries producing and selling their stuff. So, and they're big enough so that they can do that. So this is First Flame, Acer Pseudosieboldianum, likely a hybrid. I'm pretty sure it's a hybrid with Acer palmatum. It's supposed to be very cold tolerant because of the Pseudosieboldianum. This is a small red, Beni Hime, no, not Beni Hime, Hime Sojo? I think it's Hime Sojo. Anyway, it's supposed to hold its color really well in even in shady areas, and it's forms like a smaller bun-shaped tree. Very small leaves. You can see. Beni Hime? No, this is not Beni Hime. Hime, I don't know if it's Hime. I'll have to put the name under it if it's different than Hime Sojo, because I'm thinking Hime Sojo is a different one. But yeah, so anyway, we'll call it Hime Sojo for right now, because I don't think Beni Hime is a different tree altogether. Another red that has small leaves, but I think that one's difficult to keep alive. So let's get past the confusing one. And this is Kuro Hime. I didn't get a ton of color out of this one. I guess it needs a little more sun for that. So I'll move to more sun next year. It's supposed to be very sun tolerant. Nice quick growing dwarf, dense Even the color that it is now is pretty. I like it. It's different. It has dark twigs, dark stems, kind of a little bit of yellowish and orange and red on the green, all kind of an olive green color. Here I have Acer Sarsonatum, Burgundy Jewel. Pretty neat when it first comes out. Look at those stripes. You never see the nurseries show that color. They always show it once it has had some sunlight and is more mature, and it's kind of a darker burgundy color. But that initial color is pretty neat. I don't know if it's always like that, but I hope so, because I like that. That's really cool. That'll look nice when the tree gets a little bit larger. Acer Sarsonatum, Burgundy Jewel. This one here is Amagi shigure. Pretty tree. I've wanted to test this one for a while. I like it. It's similar to like a Celebration, although it comes out more pink than Celebration. Actually comes out more red and then turns more pink than this one. Maybe this one will turn more red. We'll see. Amagi shigure. Here's a Mikawa yatsabusa seedling. This one, when I first bought it, was actually variegated, and last year when it came out, it didn't have any variegation, but it still has this nice pinkish red color to it. So it's still a nice tree, as many Mikawa seedlings are. Here we have a tree that I got another one of last year, and the one that I got last year actually leafed out kind of like an orange color this year. This is an undescribed species, likely Acer Elegantulum, although it may have a different form than some of the garden varieties you see now. This is the name of it. Acer species CDHM14704. So, anyway, no real name yet. This is Hupp's Dwarf. Great little tree. Comes out, if you give it enough sun, comes out nice pink color and then turns green. I didn't give this one enough sun, so it actually came out more green, but it has a little bit of pink on the tips right now. So, cool tree. Here we have Mikazuki. It's starting to get muddy already. Nice pink color when it comes out. You have to give this one just the right amount of sun. Not too much, but probably not. I probably don't want it in full shade either, if you want any color on it. Although I don't know that for sure, but that's just typical with these reticulated types. This one has a different leaf style. The lobes are kind of longer than a lot of the other ones, like Amagi shigure. But it gets kind of, the color kind of gets muddy pretty quick. I mean, it still looks nice now. It's neat looking. But it's not a real clean looking color like the Amagi shigure has. Like some of the others, like Celebration, are cleaner. One of the reasons I got Amagi shigure is because I've had Purple Ghost in the past. I eventually gave that one away. Not because I didn't like it, but I really like the spring color on Purple Ghost. It's bright red, and if you give it a lot of sun, it turns kind of more burgundy color. And then if you put it in the shade, it turns green with kind of a light red overcast to it and darker veins. So I mean, Purple Ghost is a nice tree, but it was getting too big for me, and so I ended up giving it away. But I was hoping the Amagi shigure would be kind of a smaller version of that, but so far it doesn't have that bright red that I was hoping for. It's more like Celebration right now, but maybe it turns more red. We'll see. This is a seedling of mine. I'm not sure what the parent is, but it's kind of neat. It comes out chartreuse and then gets these, actually ends up turning more yellow with oranges on the tips as it matures. It gets more sun. So I'm going to try it out in a little bit more sun. Probably slowly acclimate it to sun, or maybe I'll just leave it here this year, and next year I'll try to put it in more of a full sun area, see what kind of colors I get out of it. But so far I like it. It's nice. Got nice leaf shape, and it doesn't seem to be burning in the sun, which is nice. Here we have an introduction by Maple Ridge. This is called Dixie Spirit. It's a little bit like English lace. It's an upright red lace leaf. It's supposed to be more upright than even English laces. And it does seem to be growing very upright. I mean, it's not really weeping at all. It's just the new growth is kind of going straight out. So we'll see how this one is. I'm hoping it gets a little more red. I mean, it's kind of like a maroon color right now, brownish red. A lot of times the red color develops more if you put them in the sun. So we'll see how this one does. It's pretty neat. I've kind of been back and forth about English lace, mostly because the color. I'm not into that kind of maroon burgundy color, really. I mean, it's okay, but I'd rather see a little bit more brighter red coloration, and I'm hoping that this one has that. But we'll see. Cool tree regardless. Nice introduction by Maple Ridge. This is Acer Sarsonatum Dwarf. Supposed to get kind of an apricot color over it on each leaf. The sun brings that color out. So it came out right at first just green, and now it's kind of developing some color. Looks nice. Supposed to be a little hardier than, kind of a similar color to Sunny Sister, which I have a larger one planted in the ground in my front yard. But this is it's supposed to be more of a small, like rounded form of the same tree, but hardier, less susceptible to things like powdery mildew, which are some of the issues with some of the circinatums. So we'll see how Del's Dwarf does. Although I honestly haven't had many issues with Sunny Sister. It's just it's a typical circinatum with Sunny Sister and like Monroe and a couple of the others, Sunglow. They come out really late in the season, usually May until the circinatums come out. So it's nice that this one's coming out earlier. It may just be because it's young too, but that'd be cool if it came out a little earlier for me. This really pretty lace leaf here is Sunset. Really pretty lace leaf. If you have a chance to get this one, I recommend it. Although it's very slow growing, and it's one of the more sensitive trees. So I would recommend putting it in a pot where you have excellent drainage. But it changes a few different colors during the year. I'll probably do another video that has sunset in it, just so I can kind of show its color changes. You can go back to this one and reference it. This is kind of the secondary color. It's a little bit more reddish and green when it first comes out, and now it's finally getting its kind of orange and yellow, kind of its sunset look. So anyway, Acer palmatum'Sunset. Alright, that's it for now. I will do some more newer trees in my next video, which should be in a day or two. So anyway, see you soon.